and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build video. And today I'm really excited, like always. I'm always excited, but I'm really especially excited to showcase you this build because this build has been a journey. Now you're probably looking at the timestamp and you're probably thinking 20 minutes. Now that's very unique, especially since this is a residential rental and this does contain a lot of different types of stuff. So you would think that there is a lot of things going on, but half of it's very glitchy, and then the other half is not actually. Like, I don't always showcase every aspect of my interior design because it can get repetitive. So I only interior designed the shed spaces, like the barn and the garden interior garden thing, and then I did an entire house. But then all the other ones off camera did I put the normal things I normally do, and I make residential rentals, which is I normally furnish one of the units, which I did, and then the other units I only provide the kitchen and the bathroom, and then the living room, bedroom, workspace areas completely and utterly up to you guys. So yeah, but anyway, this build was so crazy. So I first of all want to say, in the top right corner of the video right about now, you're going to be getting two little pop-up tag thingies. These are two creators that heavily inspired me when it came to making this. So one of the creators made Scoutfloud. I'm pretty sure I'm really badly butchering the name, but they made that as part of a Sims 4 competition, and it was so beautiful. And I remember I saw it and I was like, you know what? I don't really build that many things in the snow. I'm really inspired. I'm really interested. But what really cemented that idea is this next creator I'll be putting a link to in the top corner, where they made this Antarctic scientific base thingy. And you guys know how much I love sci-fi, and I was still in my sci-fi mood because I said in my previous video I watched Dune recently. I've been listening to a lot of sci-fi music as I am creating the script for my next sci-fi film, and it was just like I was in such a sci-fi mood. I was like, okay, I want to do this so badly, so I did do it. So last night at around, it was quite late as well. It was, oh my gosh, it was midnight if I remember correctly, because I was just writing my script so continuously for like 3 hours. And then I realized that I need to start preparing the build for upload because, as you guys know, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to start getting that ready because I like to do the exterior and do all of the landscape and all of that stuff the day before, and then the day of, that's when I like to do the interior design, and then do all of the editing and the filming of the intros and the tours and everything like that. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get ready and do that. So I started doing it, and it's just so much. It was just coming straight out of me. That sounds really bad, but it was like it was such a I feel inspired when I make a lot of my builds. Like, a lot of my builds, I feel inspired, but I have never felt so excited and so inspired as I was to make this to make this build. So inspired, in fact, for the entirety of last night, I had continuous nightmares, and I never really talk about my dreams, but I'm a really big dream nightmare oriented person. For the entirety of last night, I was having nightmares of me being in one of these bases. So this is the Hoskin space, but I was having nightmares about being part of one of these bases. And I was like, okay, the build must be really good because I'm feeling pretty immersive right now. I'm feeling pretty immersed. And yeah, and I woke up in the morning and I was like, I really want to continue doing this build. And I was just, and honestly, I think the last time I was this satisfied with how a build came out, it was during the medieval village builds. And that just speaks about how much more I like doing residential rentals. Because lately I've been doing a lot of just residentials. I haven't even been doing that much community. I really should start doing communities because I absolutely love doing community lots. But yeah, I haven't been doing that many residential rentals, and that just shows you that I really do prefer making residential render. I like making little communities. They are so fun to do. And you telling me I can make a mini community and also add a sci-fi twist? Yes, I love that. So that's what I did, and that's why I'm so excited about this build. But there's another aspect of it that I haven't discussed yet. So everyone, well, not everyone, but most of you guys who have been watching me since like the start of 2024 know that I've been planning out this save file. Now, I still am going through with that idea because I do have that in my backlog folder. I do have a build I've made for that save file in my backlog folder, but that save file is quite like big. It's like it's like the story, everything is huge. So I decided as I do that one will probably not be finished until 2025. I thought on the side, I'll make like a mini little save file and I'll make it a sci-fi one because I love doing sci-fi builds so much. And I thought with all this excess energy to make sci-fi builds, I might as well just make it into a sci-fi, especially considering I've got so many stories regarding this build. So yeah, you can classify this as episode 1 of my sci-fi save file. And hopefully I can get this done by the end of 2025 as well. I'm not too sure. This one is a little less planned out than the other one, but I know for sure what I am going to be utilizing is Mount Komorebi because I'm really, really loving this type of architecture and stuff like that. And the things that I have decided 100% will be a thing within these save files is that there will be a lot of snow and then a lot of desert. Yes, and there's a bit of inspirations from Dude. But in all aspects, I want it to be a very dry environment. And snow, even though it is liquid, it is solidified water. I do want the dryness of snow. Like it's just like an endless escape of nothingness. As much as I love greenery, and I do, and there will be little aspects of greenery. That wouldn't be the norm. With this save file, when it does come out, I hope that people, if they want to, you don't have to, but I haven't seen what this looks like without snow on it because I did build it on the Mount Komorebi lot that has snow on it. But I did it would be really great if you guys just have the continuous snow season. So I think you can go into the settings on The Sims 4 and you can change it so it snows all the time forever and the seasons do not exist. And I think that'll be great because I don't, it's not a series, but it kind of is because the intros are important. The intros have lore. So that's also another aspect I'm really trying to lean into because I'm quite Emerald Stories. I'm not quite Emerald Builds. I think there's already someone quite Emerald Builds. I'm quite Emerald Stories because my favorite color is green, specifically the color emerald, and that luckily coincides with The Sims 4's colors. And then I also love storytelling. It's one of my favorite things and aspects of being a human, which is storytelling. Well, actually, I feel like I think there's a lot of aspects of being a human that are great, but personally, what I've always been like really inclined, I'm digging myself a hole. I'm gonna stop this point right there and then because I feel like there's no way I can really maneuver that to sound any better. So yeah, but anyway, I really love storytelling. So I really want to lean into the aspect a little bit more. So those cinematic intros I always do, just keep watch of them and like really listen to what I'm pretty sure you guys do listen to what I'm saying, but if you don't and like for example, you kind of like mute me and you just listen to like really calm music as you watch me speak, but I get that as well. So that's totally fine as well. But in the intros, they are important because lore is now surrounding them. But I'm just gonna, because this video is shorter than usual, just because like I said before, I had the issue where it was glitching out most of the time. And I did the thing that I did similarly to the previous video where I thought, oh, I'm not going to film this certain aspect because it's going to glitch out a lot. But then ending up realizing that there's a lot of aspects that do glitch out that isn't what I expected to glitch out. So then I ended up cutting out a lot of aspects within my recording that I shouldn't have. Like I do a tiny bit of landscaping and I go into debug and I do utilize it a tiny bit in order, and I do showcase me decorating certain stuff with that. But I don't show the true full extent because you're gonna see at one point it's gonna cut tonight and there's gonna be just so much more debug stuff within the actual thing. But I got the gist of it. I got my favorite part, and my favorite part was placing on the lot. Doing the shelf for this was So fun. Even doing the terrain, even the annoying thing about the terrain was that the stairs, I had to add in stairs to the build. This looks a bit inappropriate. I had to add the stairs into the building onto the main building, my favorite building, the one with the greenhouse, because they just weren't going up the terrain. And I looked at the terrain and I was like, this looks like something you can climb. I think you've climbed worse than that. But they were just like not having it. They refused to go up it. Apparently it was too steep, so I had to add stairs there. Not the funnest adventure, but it worked in the end. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about the specs before I get into the storytelling of this. But oh my god, it's so pretty. Ah, see, this is another reason why I decided to make a save file of this. Not only do I enjoy building stuff like this, but I'm actually gonna be playing in these lots. Like most of the time I build, I just don't play in them. I just start something else. But I'm actually so invested in the story that can occur within all of this. So yeah, but I'm going to talk about the specs really quick. The specs within this build is that there is the main house that is next to the greenhouse. The greenhouse is actually a shared space because I have added the lot trade simple living. I was going to do off the grid, but then I realized off the grid is going to be like extreme. You can add off the grid. I'm not. Personally, I choose a little bit of suffering, but mostly peace. So I will be just keeping it a simple living and not doing off the grid. But the greenhouse space is a shared space. So any one of your Sims living on this lot, depending on what units they live in, can go into that greenhouse and plant their fruits, their vegetables, and all of their stuff in order to create whatever food they want. And then the barn is also a shared space where they can go and get milk from the cows, or they can get eggs from the chicken and stuff like that. The only thing that you will not be able to get is flour, so you will have to go to order groceries. But the problem is with ordering groceries, I built this on the opposite end. Since this is a 50 by 40, you can realistically switch this around so it faces the other end, and that will be easier for when you order things but the Sims can't necessarily find you. Because what happened is that I ordered groceries because I realized I did put the simple living stuff on, and then the Sim came, but then the Sim couldn't find me, so they just left it on the lot. But the problem is, since there's so many rocks, the Sim couldn't find me. So then it ended up being that there's groceries here now. It's like added all the extra stuff, and it ended up being there are groceries somewhere hidden under the rocks and I can't find them. So you might even have to go to Henford or Bagley and just get some groceries if you can't physically order any groceries. But yeah, those are the shared spaces. And then, so there is one house that's attached to the greenhouse. That house has 2 bedrooms and it's got an open plan living and kitchen area and 1 bathroom. There's another house that also has 2 bedrooms just off to the right of this house that I'm currently decorating. It has 2 bedrooms as well and 1 bathroom. And then there are 2 studios, which there's one studio that is connected to the almost lighthouse tower thing. And there's another studio that is connected to the overhead. It was supposed to be a garage, but then I realized that there's not that much stuff to make it a garage and it would have been too busy. So I just left it as that. But yeah, there's going to be more bases. I'm going to make more bases because before the video ends, because I think I've got like a minute left because it gets really glitchy during the interior design. But this save file is called Tundra. I'll go more into it when I have more time because I've completely talked about nonsense this entire time. But this save file is called Tundra, and basically it's a sci-fi themed save file where different types of Sims go into the future, and basically there's a new ice age, or I'm not too sure if it's an ice age or if it's an ice planet because I'm in my interstellar type of mood. But it's either an ice age or an ice planet, and basically they're just trying to survive. So there's different systems. This is the first civilization. So this entire Mount Kombarebi is going to be the basis. So where the scientists stay at and stuff like that. And then there's going to be different types of places for the more richer Sims. Like they've got those big minimalistic looking, brutalist looking buildings. And then there's going to be more like CYBERCITY-esque buildings for the lower class Sims who don't have the ability to have the bigger spaces. But yeah, there's going to be so much going on, and there's also going to be a bit of a mystery because yeah, there's just going to be so much going on. I still need to fully develop it, but this is the first ever speed build slash episode of the Tundra save file by Emerald Stories. And there's a little bit about Hoskins before we go. The Hoskins are basically the scientists, the people who founded this ice age planet and this base and everything. And I'll talk about, come back next week on Wednesday for the second speed build if you're really interested in it. And yeah, okay, all the details regarding this build will be in the descriptions down below. So yeah, am I gonna upload this? Actually, let me think about it. Should I upload it? Yeah, I'll upload it. I'll upload it. But if you want to have like the full storytelling things and the Sims and everything, I won't upload the Sims. Those Sims will be uploaded when I make the save files, because I also need to remove the custom content, but I only want to play with the custom content right now because I didn't realize we was going to make this into a save file until I actually started filming it. And then I was like, okay, this is 100% going to be turned into a save file. And I'm not going to talk into most of the tour, but yeah, I'm so excited. I think I'm going to do the save file uploads every single Wednesday. It's sometimes double upload a week, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblings. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.